فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد. Uh, okay, I welcome you all to this workshop, scholarship workshop. Today is the 27th January 2024. In this workshop, we intend to go through the steps by steps that we follow when applying for a workshop for a scholarship position. So I welcome you, and this is the agenda for the day. We will start with an introduction, then we will discuss what are scholarships, what are the benefits and the requirements. We will open the floor for Q&A, questions and answers. We will then move through the live application process walkthrough, where we show you how you can apply for scholarships step by step. After that, we also allow you to ask questions before you do a demo of Udemy, which is our platform that we built to help you with all things learning. At the end, we will close the session. My name is Abubakar Sana Ali, and I will be one of your guides together with Abbas Suraj. Engineer Abbas Suraj will also help me by giving you a live demonstration of how to apply for a scholarship. All right. So a little bit about us. Okay, so at Yewa Digital and Automation Technologies, what we do is we provide comprehensive educational consulting. So for those of you uh, who want to move ahead with their career pursuit and they want to maybe do some degree that will help them with that, you can talk to us and we can provide you with some insights that can help you going about that. And not only that, those who want to get scholarship, we can also provide you with some guides that will help you in order for you to successfully uh, secure a scholarship position. We also provide different types of educational services. Most of our services are free. We want to add value to the community, to the society, and to everybody who is into learning, who wants to learn. So we provide so many services for free, and only few of our services are paid. So if you are our follower on any of our social media platforms, I'm sure you will have seen lots of our content out there, as well as our offerings. So I welcome you, and I hope by the end of the session, you will be able to gain some insight into how you can apply for a scholarship and the step by steps that you need to follow. Not only that, the requirements when applying for a scholarship. So, what is the workshop goals? What do we intend to gain at the end of this workshop? First of all, we like to create an awareness. Okay, we want people to be aware that there are some scholarships out there which they can apply for, and hopefully, with Allah's mercy, you will be able to obtain those scholarship opportunities. Motivation is another reason that we hold these workshops, and that's because we believe if you are a student who wants to pursue a higher degree, okay, then getting and obtaining these scholarships will help you go lots of and overcome lots of strides. Okay, it's not easy studying in the first place, and it is a lot difficult if you do not have any source of finance. So without finance, you cannot study. So financing is very important. So if you have a way to get your financial issues resolved, then learning becomes a lot easier. Okay. And then we talk about the way we can help and guide you. Okay. So this is the last thing that we intend for you to get at the end of the school, at the end of the workshop, that you understand. Uh, the processes, the steps, why we are doing this, why you also need this. Not only that, how we can be of help to you. So when applying for scholarship, there are some requirements, and this is the part we are going to discuss more about because this is where we receive lots of inquiries. Okay, many of you always send us messages. Most of your questions are about the requirements when applying for a scholarship. First of all, we have transcripts. So this is a must. Okay, if you are applying for any scholarship, you need to provide a transcript. Transcript is like your record. They want to know how good you are during your study, your previous study endeavor. Were you good enough for your previous endeavor? Have you performed well? How good is your performance relative to your colleagues and your peers? They need to also understand how good maybe are you in following instructions and delivering when you are given assignments. Okay, so the transcripts will give them that summary of your educational performance so far. Field of study, of course, if you are applying for a scholarship, you have to figure out what is the field of study. Okay, so before I go to field of study, of course, I would like to mention that when we're talking about transcripts, we are talking about results, NECO result, WAEC result. Okay, sometimes you can even consider JAM as a transcript, depending on what you are applying for. If you are applying for a local university, they require you to have a JAM, so you can consider JAM as a transcript. Okay, but if you are applying for an international scholarship, transcripts are different. Okay, JAM is not applicable outside. International universities only recognize WAEC. Most of them only recognize WAEC. Some few might recognize NECO, but WAEC is the most recognizable transcript. And this is if you are applying for a bachelor's degree. If you are applying for a master's degree or PhD, then you will be able to get your transcript from your university. So if you study here if you study in Nigeria, for example, or any other country, they will provide you with certificate along with a transcript. The transcript is the summary of your performance, your grade, your scores. Okay, so you need to provide those. Field of study is this is what you want to study. What do you want to study when you attend their school? You have to tell them. Uh, and this field of study always depends on your previous study. But okay, it depends on your background. Somebody who wants to do maybe a master's degree in, let's say, engineering is expected to come from an engineering background. Somebody who wants to do a master's degree, let's say, in chemistry is expected to have a chemistry background. Someone who wants to do a master's degree, let's say, in social studies, you need to have some arts and humanities as your background. So this is important. Once you obtain your transcript, your field of study should be clear to you based on your transcript and certificate. That should not be a brainer. Should be very easy. Okay, for you to decide what you want to study. We have the essays or personal statements. This here, they are talking about how you intend to, why, how, and sometimes what. Okay, so why do you want to do a degree if it is bachelor's? You need to understand. And this one, you write it in essay form, like you are writing a letter or you are writing an essay. Okay, so you have to explain to them why do you want to do the degree in the first place. Are you there just to chill out, and spend your time resting in the hostel, or playing around, with your friends? Is that your objective? Is that what you want? Why you wanted to go to school or to attend the university? They need to know why. Then, of course, sometimes you have to tell them how. Okay, how you intend to study, and not only that, what. So the why, the how, and the what. You have to tell them all this. You have to tell them how you intend to study, all your plans, the things you intend to do. when you are studying so that you can be able to attain very good grades. You have to tell them this. What? You have to tell them what your plans are, what are you going to do? What are you going to study? So what are you there for? So you have to tell them this. So this you write it in an essay form and you submit it to them. Once they receive this information, they are happy if you did well, and that will help you in your pursuit for getting a scholarship there. Letters of recommendation here, you have to provide some documents. Okay, these documents will help them understand why. Okay, you are here based on the recommendations of your previous teachers, professors, bosses, and stuff like that. So, when you are coming to me, you want to work with me, I would like to know why you want to come to work with me. And I would like to ask you, who have you worked for before? So, if I know some of the people you worked with, I can talk to them so that I know the type of person you are. What have you done before? How have you been able to handle your tasks, your job? Were you good or were you just a terrible employee? I need to know that. If you are a student, are you a good student during your study, or you are just so terrible that people cannot be able to even help you, or you are not even adding value maybe to your team members or what have you? So people need to know that. And how better they can know that is by asking you to submit letters from your previous teachers, professors, or from your previous bosses. That's how they know. Okay. So once they receive this letter, they will now also be able to access you as a person from other people's perspective, not from your perspective. So personal statement, this is your own perspective. You get to tell people about yourself. You get to tell people that you are as good as they come. You are good enough. You are fitting for the position, and you deserve it because you intend to give your best. But apart from that, they want to also hear other people say the same thing about you. They want to hear people say, yes, we know this person is hardworking, this person is a good team player, this person, you know, is very thorough, this person, when given a job, he gets it done. So they need to have all this information. They need to know this. Standardized test is okay. So essay, you write about yourself, you know, letters, people tell about you. Standardized test will tell them how good you are. Even though you have your transcript, okay, or your field of study, they know your transcript, they look at it. But this is from you and your school. Maybe your school is not the best, or maybe you come from the best university, but how will they know? How can they know this? How will they be able to compare this, your school and other schools? Which of the schools is the best? Nobody will know. But the only way to tell you as a person is by giving you this tests that are going to cut across the line so that they level the playing ground. So you come, you sit and you write this test. So with this test, they should be able to access your performance in comparison to others. All right. So you sit down, whatever you write, you get mostly scores. And the scores normally is normalized. Okay. You normalize this scores, or you say the score on a curve, right? So meaning it's not like the way they give you grades in secondary school or primary school or your university, where you have 0 to 100 band. So you can get 70 and your friend can get, let's say, 10 or 20. That's not how it works. Okay. Here, the way things work is no sound. Somebody is asking no sound. Hassan Salisu. You have to allow sound. I'm sure everybody else can hear me.
I think that there is a
I
mute
think it's
button you're
only
supposed to
if you
press.
couldn't hear. You should
Yeah, there's
allow.
a. Mm,
Yeah, I know you can hear me.
mm.
Okay, so I was talking about standardized tests. So you need to do this exams, and these exams will tell them how good you are compared to other people. So they will grade you on a curve. Okay, so it's not like 0 to 100 that you are used to. No, Their 100 is the guy who performed the best. Let's say out of 20 questions, the best student who sat for the exam got 10. So 10 now will become the highest. So it's not going to be 20 over 20, saying that since you got, let's say, 20, 10 out of 20, that means the best guy got what, 50%. No, that's not how they grade. The best person will now have 100. Then anybody, maybe the guy who got 5 out of 20, will now be in the 50th percentile. Somebody who got 2 will be in the 25th percentile, and what have you. Okay? So that's how they grade. Somebody is saying we are not hearing what you are saying. Still, Hassan, you should allow your audio, you should allow your audio. Okay? So that's how they grade. It's not 0 to 100. Okay? It's 0 to the best. So if you have 500 questions and the best one who sat for the exam, let's say got 200. So the best mark will be 200. Okay? So it will be over 200. Okay? So this is about standardized tests. We have interviews or audition recordings. So here, when you are going for an interview, okay, normally they ask you to come for an interview after you have passed the first stage. So there are different stages. The first stage, normally you submit your documents, and then they will now look at your documents and they pick those whom they think are the best. So maybe they will pick, if the position is for 2 people, they can pick 10 of you out of maybe 100 people that applied. So those 10 that are invited for an interview will now have a chance to come and present themselves. So they will sit for the interview, and you will have the interviewer asking them questions. So this one also wants to see how good you are, especially when it comes to communication skills. Can you speak? You are going to a school, and when you go to school, you are expected to speak to people. Okay, you are expected to present your ideas. You are expected to talk. So interviews will give them an insight into your communication abilities. Can you speak? If you are the type of person who doesn't know how to speak to people, then you will put yourself in great risk here, because they will assume you don't have anything to offer. That's why you cannot speak. If you know you can't speak to people, try and practice, practice, and practice. Okay? Especially if you receive an interview invitation. So once they invite you for an interview, try to go, okay, and practice for the interview. Same thing with the standardized test. Never ever go and sit for a standardized test without practicing. It's a gamble, okay? It's a gamble. You are just going to waste your money, and these tests are very, very expensive. Okay, you have now with the current exchange rate, you will have to spend like 300,000, 400,000 just to sit for one test. So imagine you go in there, sitting for the test, and you know you lost, you failed to pass. You failed to pass. So it's really heartbreaking if you can't pass. You spent all that money to sit for the exam, and you couldn't even put in the effort to practicing, and you know it's really heartbreaking. And I've seen people do that. Some people overestimate their own capabilities. Never ever do that. It's wrong. Don't do that, please. Okay? Go for an exam, sit for an exam. Whenever you are going, make sure you practice. Make sure you practice. Study for it. That's your best chance at success. There is no amount of practice that is too little. Okay? And there is no amount of practice that is too much. Make sure you take your time to practice for the test, to practice for the interviews. And that sometimes it's not even interviews, they will give you the chance to record yourself. They might give you a chance to say, okay, can you just maybe send us a video, a 2 minute or 3 minute video to talk about yourself? Okay. So sometimes you have to do this, you have to record yourself maybe with your phone. telling them why you want to study and why you picked their school, why you chose their school, their university. All right, so proof of ethnicity. So mostly one, two, three, four, five. These are a must. You have to have number one, two, three, four, five. You have to have a transcript. You have to have a field of study confirmation. Okay, you have to know what you want to study. Sometimes you have to provide the AC or personal statement. Letters of recommendation are also important. Lastly, you have the standardized test. So this one they come here in the order of their importance. Okay, you can't do without transcript and field of communication. One and two, a must. You have to know what you want to study and you have to provide a transcript. Some will ask for AC, some will not. Letters of recommendation are always, almost always, like 99% of the time they will ask. Standardized test depends. Sometimes they ask you for them, sometimes they don't ask you for them. So I would say like 70% will ask for standardized test. Interviews are like I would say 60% or 50. Let's go with 50% of the time. If you pass this first stage, they will ask you to get ready for an interview. Proof of ethnicity or demographic information. Okay. So sometimes they will ask you what is your demography. Meaning, for example, if some scholarships are for female, women, okay, black women scholarship, we have seen so many like that. They only provide scholarships to women. Some will only provide scholarships not just to women but black women, okay, or Hispanic. All So you have to show that you are a woman if you want to apply for the scholarship that is only for women. A man cannot apply for that scholarship. Ethnicity too. Some will ask that this scholarship is only for Africans. Okay, so as an African, you can apply, but if you are an Asian, you cannot apply. So this is also sometimes required, and you have to always make sure you check to see what is the ethnicity or demography that is meant to apply for that position. Citizenship or residency proof. They also ask you sometimes where you are coming from. Some scholarships are for people from a particular country. Maybe you are coming from Nigeria and this scholarship is for you. Maybe you are coming from Ghana, the scholarship is for you. Maybe you are coming from Cameroon, this is for you. From India, from China, depending where you are coming from, you might have the opportunity to go for this scholarship. So if they say this scholarship is for Nigerians, people from Niger, from Ghana, from Chadi, they cannot apply only for Nigerians. And how do will they know? Maybe you have to come up with a proof, your international passport. Come with your passport, and they might be able to verify that yes, you are indeed a Nigerian citizen, and they will allow you to apply. Okay, that will be the proof. Work experience verification. Some scholarships are for those who have experience working. You have to be working maybe in a parastatal, in a company, an NGO, doesn't depends on the requirement of that scholarship provider. So he will ask you to have an experience, and you have to come up with a way to prove that you do have that experience. Maybe you come up with a letter from your employer to tell them that yes, this person has been working with us for the past so amount of years. Okay, or maybe you give them contact details of those employers of yours. Okay, and your employers will talk with them, so they will call those your bosses and then they would like to see and hear from them whether you did work there. So this is the next step for those who are going for masters and phd. The next one is for you, so this is specifically for masters and phd. Okay, so if you are going for master's degree, you might be asked to submit a project proposal. When you come for the master's, what do you intend to study? What do you intend to do? How do you intend to carry out your project? You are going for PhD, normally they will ask you for a research proposal. So you tell them, okay, I'm trying to do a PhD, I'm trying to become a researcher, and this is what I am trying to work on when I come to do the PhD. Tell them, yeah, I'm from engineering, from electrical, or from computer. And what I intend to do is to build an AI system that will be able to do so thing. How do I intend to do it? This is the methodology I have proposed, and these are the expected results I'm expecting to get at the end of the day. So this is a proposal. You have to provide this proposal in a form of document, come with it, and then once you have this proposal ready, submit it. Most of the time, this helps a lot for them to access you, okay, especially your skill when it comes to research skill. How good are you when it comes to research? Okay, we have leadership acknowledgements. This sometimes it could be required, but it's less likely. They hardly ask for it. So I would say maybe out of 100, maybe only 10 will ask you if you had any previous experience in any leadership role. So have you been maybe the class captain, the monitor, class monitor, head boy, head girl, prefect in your school, maybe in your community, you are the chairman of this committee, things like that, that makes you act as a leader. So they would like to see this also. It's a good thing, it adds points. Lastly is the community involvement records. And this is where most of our people sometimes fail to figure out what to do. Yeah, because sometimes many of us are just used to getting or collecting from the environment. We don't know how to add value. Okay. So I say this and I will always tell you, if you want to get a scholarship, go and start off anything in your community. Okay. Maybe put together some of your friends, tell them, okay, from now on, our job is to always every Saturday go to the community hospital, okay, and help out anybody who needs help. You don't have to come up with money. Just go there. You are youth. Anybody applying for a scholarship mostly is a youth, okay, in his youth age. So as a youth, you have the energy. Maybe of course you don't have money. That is common when it comes to youth. No money, but you have energy, right? Then use your energy. Put together your friends. Tell them, okay, let's see every weekend, just one day, 2 hours. Let's go to the hospital and offer to help out, okay, in the community hospital. No, it is the masjid in your locality. Go and volunteer. You want to be the muazzin, for example, you want to be the masjid caretaker. Go and apply for it. Do it. It's good. It's your society, it's your community. You are there to add value, not just to get value from the community. You are expected to add value. That's why you are human. Okay. And in this life, you are not adding, then you become the addition. Okay. You are not adding any value, you now become the addition. So we will be counting you in the 9 billion population the world has. You will just be a statistics, a number, because you are not adding anything. You are not helping anybody. You only know yourself. And God helps those who help others. Okay? والله في عون العبد ما كان العبد في عون أخيه. If you are helping other people, then you should be rest assured that Allah will also be there to help you out. So always, always, always try to help out. And you will be surprised. They count this as a very, very important factor to our scholarships. So if you want to get scholarship, get involved in your community. Okay. So that's a little bit about those things. Okay. We have discussed all about this. We discussed about, let's say, the statement of purpose. So as I said, it's a very, very important document when you are applying. Sometimes you will be asked to write about yourself. And the way it is written, mostly you have to start with an introduction. Okay? The introduction is you introduce yourself, you tell them, okay, I am so person. I come from so academic background. This was my previous education, null background. This is what I studied, or this is my previous job. I have been able to achieve this during my time of study, or when I am in the job, this is what I do, and stuff like that. Tell them a little bit about you in the introduction part. Tell them, okay, after that, what is your career goal? Why are you doing this degree? Is it because you intend to become, a scholar in the future? Yes, I want to do this master's degree because when I finish, okay, I want to become a professor in, let's say, AI. So that's why I'm applying for this degree. Okay, that's your long-term plan. In the short term, maybe you can say, yeah, I am doing this so that I will be able to learn and see how the AI world is evolving, things like this. Okay, so you have to tell them. And then also you have to tell them why AI, why not medicine, right? Why not geography? Why AI? Why are you interested in that? So you have to tell them that. And then why, you have to also tell them what do you think is making you unique with regards to taking the course, Uh, maybe it could be your background. You come from an engineering background and you had very good grades when it comes to computer courses, computer engineering courses, which is why you think you really will do well when it comes to AI, for example. So this could be one thing you can tell them. And in a nutshell, you have to tell them this. Okay. So what are the do's and don'ts? What should you do when you are writing and what should you avoid? Okay. So when you are writing the statement of purpose, make sure you are authentic. Authentic meaning don't write something that you know is a lie. Okay. Let's say you hate playing football and you start telling them because you are trying to apply for a scholarship in physical education, PE. Okay, and you come and you start telling them, yeah, I used to dribble like Messi, and I was Cristiano Ronaldo, I was his coach, I was the one who was teaching him when he was learning, or JJ Okocha was my mentor, telling me, don't do that, don't lie, be authentic. Okay, so don't lie, keep this in mind because they can easily figure it out when you are lying sometimes. Be specific too. Don't be telling them stories that, yeah, there was a time my grandma visited me and this kind of things. Try to avoid doing things like that. You have to be specific, all right? You have to tell them, why are you telling us about your grandma? Did something happen? What does that have to do with the statement of purpose? So your grandma was saying, yeah, you will become the president of the country. Then you decided to say, I'm going to go and study political science just because your grandma says that, and maybe you don't even know how to talk to people. Okay, so you have to be specific. Okay, don't go and start telling them about your cousin and how he likes to maybe. Okay. Yeah, so just try to be specific. Okay. And coincide in the sense that you don't want to be telling them too long stories, too much stories. No, please. Okay. Don't tell them yesterday when you were playing football, your friend so hit your leg, and one of your legs is now broken. They had to take you to the hospital, and even the doctor was saying that this leg, this. Why? Who is asking you about that? Don't tell all that story. Okay, it's not relevant. Okay, don't tell them that it's not relevant. Only tell them about things that are relevant to them. Why you are there, why you want to do that course, and what makes you the best person for the course. All right, so that's it. For those who are interested, of course, you can be able to see some template of how you write a statement of purpose. Okay, we've talked about standardized tests and maybe some little bit of clarification. There are normally two standardized tests that are normally required. Two of them. So keep this in mind. The first one is the English proficiency test. So here, because most universities, most schools out there, they teach people in English. All right. So they need to understand, they need to know that you can speak English. Okay. Don't go there speaking Hausa. They don't understand your language. Now you sabi. Okay? So that is not theirs. That's why we are also doing the workshop in English because we know you are going for a workshop for a scholarship abroad. You want to study abroad. Nobody is going to teach you in Hausa. Nobody is going to teach you in Yoruba. Nobody is going to teach you in Igbo. Okay? Fulani. No. Nobody will teach you in Fulfulde. Okay? Or Babur. Nobody will teach you. So speak English, learn to speak English, and show them, prove to them that you can speak English by taking those exams. You have to take those exams. We have TOEFL, we have IELTS, we have Duolingo even. So for those of you who have not used Duolingo app, it's a very, very helpful app. You know, it can help you learn languages. Duolingo is one of the best language learning apps out there. Okay, you can be able to learn different languages on Duolingo. uh, I was even uh, trying to learn Mandarin, you know, Shinshin, Wajao, Abubakar, you know, I was learning it all from Duolingo. Okay, so if you want to learn a language, you can use Duolingo app. It's there for you. Just go and download it on your app. It's free also. That's a good thing. It's also free. People like free stuff, so Duolingo is free. And once you finish the course in learning English, you can also take exam, an English exam. They also provide this, but you have to pay for the exam. Okay, you have to pay for the exam, but it is cheaper compared to TOEFL and IELTS. Those ones are more expensive. The only difference is though some schools do not accept Duolingo exam. Okay, TOEFL, IELTS, these are widely accepted. Everywhere you go, these ones are popular. The people will accept them. But Duolingo, some will accept, some will not. So it depends where you want to go and study. But as I said, it's cheaper. You don't spend much money compared to the other two. Okay, so go check Duolingo. Very nice app. I will highly recommend it. All right. The next exam, the second one, is the GRE. Okay, so GRE exam helps them understand your own IQ mostly. That's what it tests. Your own analytical skill. Okay, can you write? When we say write, not just write grammar. No, no. They're talking about how good are you in writing analysis. They will give you maybe a picture and tell you to describe the picture. Okay, criticize some of the things that are depicted in the picture. That's how you are expected to write. Okay, they will give you a topic. They will say argue that this is good. You know, there are so many arguments going on social media. Okay, for example, who is the best footballer, Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi? Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? Or is it maybe Pele? Who knows? They will ask you to argue that the best player is Ronaldo Lazario. No, the first Ronaldo, not the second Ronaldo. Yeah, so they expect you to sit and write on that. Or they tell you, argue that Maradona is the best footballer. So they want you to be writing stuff like some statistics, you know, talk about Maradona at his teenage age was able to do this. He has this amount of goals, this, you know, his way of the way he plays, the way he dribbles. You know, you have to come up with facts. Tell them good things. Aha. So I'm using football because most of our attendees are men. So you should be able to follow along. Okay. So that's about that. When you are preparing also, when you want, if you want to really pass the exams, as I said, make sure you prepare. Very, very important. You have to prepare for this exam. You cannot just go and start and just, I'm telling you, you are going to waste huge amounts of money if you just want to wing it. Don't do that, please. Sit and plan how you will study and practice for this. If you don't know how to start or where to start from, talk to us. We will give you some guidance. Okay, we will provide you with guidance. Okay, we will provide you with the resources for free. Okay, only that if you want maybe uh, extra services from us, that you want somebody to sit and teach you everything, okay, on how to pass, then you will pay for that because you are asking somebody to spend his time working with you. But if it is about what to do, how to start, please talk to us. We will give you resources. We have these materials, study materials. We don't mind sharing it with you. Okay, we'll tell you what to read first, then after that, what to read next, so that you'll be able to practice. And once you practice, you'll be able to pass. Okay, so please talk to us if you really are intending to pass. Okay, and the GRE comes in two shapes. So I will say, yeah, roughly two, but there are four sections. Okay, same thing with IELTS. It comes with four sections, but the GRE is the most important one here. We have the qualitative, the quantitative, the verbal. Yeah, I think qualitative, quantitative, then the analytical part. So I think three sections, if I forget, maybe. Yeah, it's been long since I took mine, but I think it's three sections. Okay, the qualitative, or they call it verbal, the quantitative, they call it the quant, and then the analytical. Yeah. So the verbal, this is where they expect you to write, speak, and do stuff like that. The quantitative, this they will ask you some mathematical questions, some statistics, some math. You have to have solid background on math to be able to pass the quantitative. So anybody who wants to do anything related to engineering or science degrees, you have to get very good results when it comes to GRE in the quant section. They will tell you specifically, we want you to get a minimum of so score for the quant.